Hello, my name is Jason, and when it comes to the question of who would win in a battle between Jedi and Marvel characters, the way that I would see it is you have to determine whether or not, if the Jedi have their lightsabers, forget about it, it's a slaughter. The Jedi destroy them. The Marvel comic characters all die and all the Jedi still survive. If you're talking about no lightsaber, then it becomes a lot more equal battle. Especially if they're in a bit of an urban environment, because then they can use the Force to manipulate things and their environment to their advantage. If it was like in the middle of Iowa, they would probably all die because then it's just, the superpowers of the Marvel characters versus just the Force, and you can't really use Force with, hay bales. It just doesn't work that way. So for this example, I would have to presume that they're in New York City. All of the Jedi and all of the Marvel characters. Not on a one-on-one basis, but more like Halo 3 online, like Xbox Live, where you're just everybody's, it's a free-for-all. After a very long, drawn-out, blow-for-blow battle for all ages, I'm thinking that the last three Jedi alive would be Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda versus Wolverine, the Thing, and the Incredible Hulk. From there, unfortunately, Mace Windu died for no better reason than he's black. And the black guy always dies at the end. I don't know why. It's not fair. Some argue that it would be racism, but it's just the way that it is. So Mace would die. The Thing would end up falling somewhere in the midst of the Hudson River in a vat of some sort of solvent that would make him, his stony self, into nothing more than a chunk of salt and water. He would dissolve and he would be gone. And that would be a shame, but he would die nevertheless. When it came to Wolverine and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they would both die pretty much simultaneously. Wolverine would die from asphyxiation, and right before he's about to die, he would end up severing Obi-Wan's femoral artery, and Obi-Wan would bleed out, and he would also die. So that leaves Yoda and the Incredible Hulk. I'm pretty confident that Yoda would be able to hold off the Hulk and hold his own, but unfortunately for Yoda, the Hulk would just keep coming and coming and coming. He's incredible. That's why they call him the Incredible Hulk. He's not the so-so Hulk. He's the Incredible Hulk. And that's why, ultimately, Yoda would win, but I tell you what, New York City would be completely leveled before the battle would end. I don't even know how it would end, but I know that Yoda would ultimately end up finishing him off. And that's also presuming that Yoda and Obi-Wan and everybody's in their prime. We're not talking about Yoda 900 years old. We're talking about Yoda in, episode 3, right before he's getting ready to take out the Emperor. So, that's my opinion. I think ultimately Yoda, Jedi Master of all ages, would end up beating